Welcome to the October 2012 Guitar Tips video. This video goes along with the Woodshed, an e-newsletter that I send out to all my students every month. In the Woodshed this month I talked all about practice, and it was broken into 3 sections about doing a warm-up, reviewing, and then getting to your new material. So it's in this video that I want to talk about that very first step, which is the warm-up. Okay, there was just too much really to put down on the page about warm-up, so I figured I'd just dedicate the video to that this month. So I'm going to talk about 3 levels of warm-ups here, some for your beginners, some for my intermediate students, and for the more advanced guys that are maybe at college or university, or have just been playing with, taking lessons for a long time. Okay, so for all the beginners out there, a great warm-up for you to be doing is to take your notes in open position. Okay, so in other words, starting from your low E, okay, and we're going to go all the way up to the G, note by note, of course, and that alone is a great little warm-up. Okay, so you're going to go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Saying the notes out loud, and then you're going to go back, right? G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, B, A, G, F, E. Make sure you take a big breath before you do all that, okay? Don't do it that fast. I'm just doing it for an example. But what I want you to do as well, a little bit of a challenge here, is make sure that you're employing or using that alternate picking business that I've talked about, okay? Which is downstroke, upstroke. Okay, so it just alternates. So for starters, that E, right, your lowest note would be a downstroke. Okay, the F would be an upstroke, G would be a downstroke. Now, even though you're going to a different string, don't play a downstroke here. You'd be doing an upstroke. Okay, and then down, up, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So, your notes in open position, up and down. Say the names of the notes out loud. Okay, I know it's harder going backwards. Saying that alphabet backwards is quite difficult. Okay, with alternate picking. If you want to give yourself even more of a challenge, do some eighth notes. Pick eighth notes rather. What I mean by that is, so same story with the notes over here, but you're going to go like so. So I'm picking each guy twice. Okay, so the eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. If you really want a challenge, use 16th notes. So that's 4 for everything. Okay, there you go. Pardon me. So that's a beginner warm-up. Okay, that's a great one. For the more intermediate student, I would say 2 great little warm-ups real quick here. First are finger crawls. And the finger crawl is that one where you are starting at your 1st fret, going 1st finger, 2nd, 3, 4, leaving everything on as you go. And then, of course, when you go to the next string, you leave everybody where they are and only move the finger that needs to be moving. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so they're staying on as you go. Okay, all the way down to your 6th string. And then you're going to go back up again. Okay, always this exercise starts with the 1st finger. So now here I am down on the 6th string, 1st finger back to the 5th string. Okay, like so. And of course, if you haven't done this very much, don't be surprised if when you're going to your next string that your other guys are draping over top. Don't worry about that. This is a dexterity exercise. It's not based on strength. Okay, so don't be putting a lot of strength into this. Matter of fact, if anything, nice and loose and light. Okay, so that's a really good intermediate warm up. Another one is to take like your major or minor scales, the 1-octave versions. Okay, and start down here at your 2nd fret with the F sharp major. Okay, and then what I like to, and I get many of you to do this next thing in your lessons, is move up a fret. Move up another one. All the way up to maybe the 10th fret or so, okay? And then you're going to jump to your 5th string. Okay, so root now on your 5th string. and down fret. Okay, we'll work our way all the way down to our second fret. We'll pretend we just did all that, okay? And then jump up to your fourth string. Now this is the one with the shift, okay? Shift with that first finger. Same story, okay? All the way up like to your 10th fret, okay? And then up to, of course, your third string. Blah, 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 okay? So those are two really good intermediate warm-ups, okay? Now, for the more advanced student, we've been working, of course, lots, I'm sure, at this point, on, full-on major scales, 2 and 3 octaves, various fingerings, more kind of like one based on what I was just playing, but 2 octaves, okay, this thing, okay, but also the 3 note per string guys, okay, along with their accompanying modes and all that kind of stuff. Now, since you're more advanced, and you probably know about the cycle of fifths and fourths by now, cycle them, okay? So, take your C major scale, up, ascending and descending, and then, of course, key of G, okay? Play the same thing, then the key of D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp, then A flat, E flat, B flat, F, back home again to C, okay? Then do minor keys, A minor, E minor, blah, 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 blah. All right? That's my neighbor moving garbage out there. And since you're more advanced as well, single string scales, really great, okay? So all keys, again, so start off the key of C, key of G, and so on and so on. And just a quick reminder about single string scales. You're taking the notes of a key, key of D, for example, F and C sharp, and you start off on your first string, and you're basically singling out those notes that belong to that key. So in other words, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E. You can just do 1 octave, that's fine. Okay, and then of course back down, second string, same kind of thing. Okay? I like to do them in a triplet pattern. You could do this as well. I probably have shown this to you where your key of D again. So you're okay, except you won't flub that A note like I just did. Okay, so cycling the cycle of fifths, very good thing for you to be doing. Okay. So I hope that helps. If you're a beginner, don't try those advanced ones, please. You can try the finger crawl if you really want to, but make sure that your warm up is always fairly mindless, if that makes sense. Okay, you don't want to be, well, it's a warm up. You don't want to be thinking too hard or be too unfamiliar with the stuff, because that's not a warm up. Okay, the warm up becomes a trigger. It gets you ready to review some material, and then of course then you're really ready to work on your new stuff. Okay, it's really hard to go into new material, especially if it's difficult, cold, with all the worries of the outside world bugging you. It will be unproductive. And speaking of productive, the average human has an attention span of approximately 20 minutes, and what I mean by that is when you're working on a single task, okay, 20 minutes is about the limit before you start to become unproductive. Sometimes that's hard to you don't notice it. Some people are really good at noticing that, but that's kind of the magic number, about 20 minutes. So, pardon me. Try to break your practice sessions into blocks of 20 minutes. I use a little timer, and so I'll work on a single topic, whatever that happens to be, a piece of music by Bach or whatever. If I'm just warming up, I'm doing single string scales. 20 minutes is the cap, and as soon as that little alarm goes off, even if I'm in mid sentence here, down goes the instrument. Go get a breath of air for a second. No longer than 2 minutes, okay? Because then you'll undo all the good you've done. But a minute, 2 minutes, okay? And then get right back to it, and you'll find that helps ideas to kind of congeal, and you'll progress way faster. Okay? I hope that helps. It's a big topic, okay? But warm-ups, make them part of your routine, and help make practice part of your life. Take care. See you next time.